And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of At Eternity's Edge, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. The red Terran player himself. We have the South Korean Terran. No longer is he cooked. Now he is HonMonO. God damn it. It is HonMonO. A man of many names, a man of many talents, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Aye. Here we go. We're delving into our TvT. Coming into this, the first Rax is back at home, actually. Okay, no proxy. Not yet. So no proxy whatsoever. We do have our initial openers. Once again, welcome to At Eternity's Edge. We actually didn't really get to discuss the map itself just because of the hyper-aggression, but we do have our natural expansion. We have the high ground here outside of the natural, which can be taken advantage of to take over the high ground to push into the bases. We have our triangular third base, which leads into a high yield gas geyser, which pushes across the map. The rush distance by ground from third to third is quite short if we expand towards each other, and we do expect aggression from both ByuN and HonMonO in the early and mid game. We have the gold expansion that can come into play in a very long game state, so you can rush into the space and try to gain that economic edge if you do have map control or try to be cheeky. That is something to bear in mind. And we'll see how our players do decide to open up. HonMonO does expand on location. Oh my god. So Rax expand out of HonMonO. Meanwhile, ByuN going double gas into a faster factory. A much more tech heavy start out of our blue Terran. Let's go. So with this can lead, or this does lead into a faster starport, into faster drop play, into faster Banshee play as well. This can lead into an earlier Cyclone, earlier add-on swap. Eyes are going to be on ByuN. Bearing in mind that he will still expand before the starport. Oh, opening up Marauder is HonMonO. Interesting. So early tech lab into concussive shell. Curious here. I believe that this should be for an earlier move out. This does catch and can punish like Reaper and Hellion aggression, and there is a Hellion on the way. We'll see if HonMonO can try to punish ByuN. And I'm curious to see if this leads into a second and third Rax. Not even. Leads into a factory. Marauders are sharking around. We're going to be opening up Reacted Reaper Hellion. Ooh, this is a very aggressive build here from ByuN. The goal is to build up to 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions, and then to move out across the map. The goal here is to get economic damage, to rush past the army, bust into the mineral line, but there are going to be defensive Marauders here to help deal with this army. Comes down to the positioning, comes down to the control. Initial factories on the way. The Marauders are trying to hold their own. They do catch one of the Hellions. A nice kiting. A better kiting here, though. The Hellion does not pull away in time. They trade 1-to-1. So far, HonMonO he's holding. He's holding on. So he says, is this one of the new maps? Every map featured tonight should be one of the new maps. Or is going to be one of the new maps. As we have a full TLMC 22 map pool. There are no current ladder maps in the map pool for this tournament. Purely TLMC. Again, the purpose of this is to showcase all these maps ahead of time before voting. Bearing in mind that public voting isn't available yet, but it will soon be available in a couple of days' time. So this just gives you a better idea as to how the maps play out and what you're looking at, and you know where you can cast your votes as well. What you like, what you don't like. And again, there's still a lot, many more maps to really delve into. Many more maps. We have yet to experience any of the 4-player maps. I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Depending on the matchups. True. Oh, as we're going for 2-port 2-base all in. Okay, I mean, I say that there's a third CC on the way, but that's a very fast second starport. So the goal here is to maintain air control, to be able to take air control away from ByuN, to have the Viking lead as we are supply blocked. Ooh, brutal supply block. But ideally, this gives you the Viking lead and then into a Liberator. Into Libs. ByuN back at home. It did go for his own Raven start. So Reaper Hellion into Raven tank. ByuN also claiming his own third. And on the one hand, ByuN, his goal is to push forward and to pull off his disables to make use of the Ravens. Meanwhile, it's going to be on HonMonO to zone the Ravens away and to potentially even catch them out before they do cast any spells. Remember, HonMonO, he will have the Viking advantage. We'll have that Viking lead. Here come the Liberators. As we mentioned, the goal here is to initially take control of the skies with Mass Viking and then take over the ground with Mass Liberator. Here's the goal. HonMonO moves out. ByuN does spot this. And how does ByuN react? Do we push or do we defend? The answer is defend. Pulls away. Does pull away. Once again, just keeping tabs on the army. Despite HonMonO's reputation, we are building up into the mid game here. It was a bit of a cheeky start, but outside of that, now we're macroing up. It's macro mono, papi. True. Hon macro. He's a rare sight. We rarely get to see him, but he's there. He's still alive. Senor Hon Macro. Somewhere in there. ByuN does move out. Again, bearing in mind that ByuN, he does have the Viking deficit. First Raven goes down, second Raven as well. Does snipe both. Does get 2 disables. Yeah, not good enough there. Yeah, not good enough. HonMonO, he does defend. Does hold the line. Picking more Vikings. So far, HonMonO, he's holding. Vikings are shocking around. Rotates to the left. HonMonO is keeping up. Liberators have arrived. Once again, just zoning ByuN away. Zoning him back. ByuN once again rotates, he gets spotted. HonMonO, he's late to rotate. Yeah, HonMonO is out of position. ByuN does siege first. Sims in, and takes down the first tank. It takes down the Liberator as well. Gets 1, 2 Liberators, and ooh, HonMonO is being broken. It is being broken here and now. Vikings force to land. Oh my god, massive tank shots. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, HonMonO, for the most part, he was holding on, he was keeping up, he was defending up until that final rotation. We saw that final rotation where ByuN, he came in behind the army, was able to sneak up towards the natural base. HonMonO, he was late to unsiege, late to reposition, late to react and respond to ByuN. And with that, GG. GG, well played. With that, the game did end, and ByuN takes the lead. Again, TvT is very positional based, and we saw that the HonMonO, he was not able to keep up. That leads us into game 2. Let's go. Where are we dropping? As we are going to be loading into lockdown once again. Okay. Loading into lockdown. Once again, it's a bit of a larger map, but to make up for that, it does have speed zones, does have a very accessible natural. But do we just cheese? Let's go. Let's find out. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Lockdown, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the teal Terran player, himself, representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Let us go again. Last game we did see a more macro mid-game approach out of HonMonO, going into a very heavy Viking count, a very heavy Viking tank count, but it was unable to keep up with the movements of ByuN. ByuN did catch HonMonO out of position, and in one swift move was able to end the game then and there. So a very decisive play there from ByuN. We'll see if he can do it again. Likewise, we'll see if HonMonO can keep up. Oh, Esther, Francis. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Good evening, good evening. If you're saying evening, I'm assuming you're from Oceania? Whether it's Australia or New Zealand. Bienvenidos. It's been an intense weekend of StarCraft. And what better way to end the weekend with some tune-up, Pat? True. With some new maps, more importantly. Oh, the new maps. But once again, welcome to Lockdown. So when it comes to Lockdown itself, it does have a unique expansion pattern here, as we are going for a ranks expand here out of HonMonO. Once again, going into the tech lab, once again into early Marauder production. Same build 2 games in a row out of HonMonO. Interesting. Assuming, yep, there we go. Into Marauder, into Gingas of Shell. When it comes to the map itself, we didn't really get to delve into the map earlier just because it led into a 1-base all-in. But here we have a ramp coming into the natural. We have this low ground area that can be abused. That is true. This area can be abused, but it's quite a wide area as well. That leads into the high ground expansion on the left. This could be a linear third, which is much more defendable, or we can take the low ground third base instead. Bearing in mind that we have 3 planes of elevation. We have the low ground, then the mid ground, and then the high ground, and technically we have the higher ground. We have the 4 stages of elevation here on this map. They're all elevated. There are some speed zones. The speed zones are mainly for worker scouts, so worker scouts across the map are impacted by the speed zones. On top of that, this also does favor aggressive rotations for whoever has map control. It does mean that you can rotate back and forth between, say, this northern expansion and the southern expansion a little bit faster after you knock down the rocks. That'll be in the mid game, in the mid to late game. So we have those speed zones for those rotations. As HonMonO, he does start to move out. He gets spotted. He gets spotted early on. This time we do see that ByuN does not commit anywhere near as hard into Reaper Hellion. Just the 2 Reapers into Marine Cyclone. So much more standard setup here from our blue Terran. As Marauders, they do try to overwhelm. There's no safety bunker, true. Yeah, no safety bunker. Reaper goes down. Does pick up a couple of Marines as well, but ByuN will hold. Okay, ByuN does hold on. Once again, thanks to the ramp. Does help hold. HonMonO is still rallying. Oh, but now there's a Cyclone. The lock-on. Yeah, lock-on is brutal. Catching out one of the Marauders. The high ground advantage is pretty good. Oh no! He face checks. He checks with the face, but he still punishes. Yeah, heavy losses here for HonMonO. HonMonO bleeding out 4 Marauders. As behind this, once again, do you see what I see? I see a second starport. So once again, a double starport into Massive Viking. There is a distinct difference. Last game, it was 3 CC into second starport. This time, this is a second starport before third base, so there's a higher chance this turns into a 2-base all-in. Not saying it's guaranteed, just a higher chance. ByuN is being proactive. As ByuN does boost in. Yeah, it does commit in. Vikings are trying to reinforce. The boys are being pulled, and so many SCVs going to be going down. Massive tank shots. Oh my god. Yeah, massive tank volleys. And even if HonMonO holds here, there's still going to be 8 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, bleeding out 9 SCVs. ByuN forced to pull away. Does cripple the economy. Jeez. Almost catching out the drop. HonMonO forced back home, and ByuN now expands. Third CC is on the way. The initial 2-base all in here that it seemed like HonMonO was building up towards, we've missed that timing. The timing has been missed. The economy has been crippled. It's going to be difficult to choose to expand, so we're leaning towards an all-in. But it's going to be a weakened all-in here from HonMonO. The hope here should be that ByuN is maybe overly greedy and overextends. That's the hope. So here comes HonMonO. West camps, y'all. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Mid-North Coast times. I'm in the West, papi. I'm in the West. But also New South Wales. As HonMonO doesn't quite find a way in. Again, it's mainly a Viking-heavy army into Liberators. HonMonO now attempts to expand. And ByuN, he'll be the first to do so. Again, ByuN, he has a very comfortable lead. He's up in workers, up in bases, up in army. HonMonO does have a chance if he can now position, if he can somehow boost into the natural. But ByuN is ready.
Add-on complete.
The Liberator gets caught out. Oh my god, brutal lock-on. HonMonO rotates here towards the third. Vikings, they try to snipe the Ravens. They attempt to. ByuN's own Ravens, they get away. They pull back. So making 3 Liberators at a time. Okay. HonMonO doing what he can. Again, still at least has potential with this army. But the goal is to outposition ByuN, to get behind into the mineral line, or to catch out a couple stray units. And it has not happened yet. Once again, HonMonO does hug the edge. Still spotted. Yeah, still spotted, still seen. HonMonO, he still maintains the higher Viking counts, but there are Liberators on the ground. So he have... Yeah, local on the Vikings, Marines, they start to step forward. And HonMonO, he will lose everything here. He'll lose everything, he'll lose all the Liberators. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, a cheeky move here by HonMonO to commit into a 2-port 2-base all-in early on, but before we could really get his Vikings going, we saw that ByuN, he was the first to push out. The first to gain map control, moved out across the map, hit the natural, cripple the economy, and we saw that HonMonO never recovered from losing that economy. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. With that, ByuN does advance on, and we already have an opponent ready and waiting. Ay, ay, ay. We have a classic. He took down MinVK earlier in the tournament, and he's waiting, or he was waiting for the winner of this series. It's going to be Classic versus ByuN in the lower semis. Crazy, baby, crazy.